This is an all-wheel drive, 3-liter, twin turbocharged, 300 horsepower vehicle. 0 to 60 in it is about 4.5 to 4.7 seconds. Again, I said this was the all-wheel drive version. We picked up the car last night and it was raining pretty heavy out. So we decided to test and see how good the traction control works and how the all-wheel drive system works. And we did a couple of 0 to 20, 0 to 40 launches, and we could not get all 4 wheels to break loose, but this thing just stuck to the ground and took off like a rocket. So from a wet road performance standpoint, this is a phenomenal car. It stops well, it performs well, corners extremely well, hugs the road. The particular car has 5 different options for driver modes. It has a snow mode, it has an eco mode, it has a standard mode, and a sport mode. The personal mode I haven't quite figured out how to configure yet because I'm driving, but we'll try to tackle that one at some point. But for some reason, I just can't see why there would be any reason not to run it in sport mode. The car has a really, really nice interior feel. Everything is feels like leather, but I'm not sure that it is leather because this is more of a base model. I believe the sticker on this car was somewhere around $45,000 or $46,000. Now I'm traditionally used to driving either a Porsche Cayenne or a GMC Denali, even the Corvette, new model Corvette, C7 Corvette. And when I get into this car, it's not quite as intuitive to learn everything, it appears. It does have kind of a center drive switch. It has steering wheel controls that are a bit different than I'm traditionally used to. It has this big electronic clock in the screen that you see. It has a place to put your sunglasses. It has good interior lighting. I am 6 feet 1 inches tall, and I have plenty of leg room. The headroom is a little tight. I do feel my hair hitting the roof a little bit. The seat positioning is quite far back. If you wanted to utilize the back seats, it is a 4-seat car. You would have to have a 4'6" driver and probably somebody 3'5" in the back seats because the back seat room is just non-existent. This is a 2-door sport coupe, and really for all intents and purposes it's a 2-door, 2-seat sport coupe. Not that that's a bad thing, just if you're looking at this car, don't anticipate this is a 4-person car on a road trip. You could certainly squeeze 4 people in here to go out to dinner or go to a nightclub, and once you're pretty drunked up, you could kind of roll into the back seat, I suspect, as long as you have a designated driver. Visibility is pretty good in this car. I notice there's just a bit of a blind spot on my left side. Mirrors compensate for that fairly well. I do not care for as tight as this. The seat belt really pulls kind of tight on you. That's one thing that I do find a little annoying on a road trip. It wouldn't be bad if you're just driving around town for short distances. I have yet to find adjustability. I know this is adjustable upwards and downwards. It's up as high as it can go right now, so it's still a little uncomfortable for me in my particular driving position. I think if this seat was pushed forward and somebody really had to have this thing held against them while I was pushed forward, it would probably be a little bit more uncomfortable. The dashboard looks phenomenal. It has nice white stitching over a black leather-like dashboard. The performance is just unbelievable. And that was up to 55, of course. Okay, maybe 70 since the speed limit is 70 here. Cruise control works very well, though it does not appear to be adaptive cruise control. I suspect that this is being more of their base model. This is a 3.0T. It appears that it doesn't have a ton of options because probably because it's a rental car, so I'll have to give it a little benefit of the doubt. But for any Infinity to not have GPS, not to have heated seats, a little off for their high-end brand. So personal disappointment with that is I would have expected to have a few more amenities as a standard for a high-end vehicle like this. The ergonomics, the comfort, I'll tell you, I sit in this thing, it's like sitting in a lazy boy recliner almost. I mean, it is very, very comfortable. I've been driving for about an hour now, and I don't feel like it's uncomfortable. I don't feel like I want to get out of the car. I actually enjoy driving the car. The car is just a blast to drive. I just wish I could drive a little bit faster. This stretch of road appears to be the area where all of the police hang out. So we have to keep it within speed limits. Unfortunately, occasionally I can do a little quick pass, do a little bit of playing. And now it looks like I'll be doing the speed limit for a little while because I have one ahead of me. The lines of the car look extremely incredible. It has chiseled edges. It has a very nice aerodynamic two-door coupe appearance. It has a slight bulge in the fenders, which gives it a wide stance. It has some very nice alloy wheels. They accent the car extremely well. The metallic gray paint looks phenomenal on it. It never gets old. It has automatic headlamps, and it also has delayed wipers and normal wipers, but one thing that I noticed that is missing for a high-end vehicle is rain sensing wipers. Does not appear to have rain sensing wipers. It has a push button start, keyless remote entry, has a little button on the door that when you come up to the car it recognizes the key is in your pocket. You can actually push a button to lock it on exit. It does not automatically lock on exit as far as I know. If anybody out there knows different, please correct me, but I believe you have to actually push the button on the exterior door to get the car to lock. When you open the hood, it's a 3-liter twin turbocharged engine. This thing fills the engine bay. It has plenty of power. It is just pure muscle. The only one thing that I would suggest is a little bit better sound, or actually any sound, and possibly a dual mode exhaust. When you crack into the car, you can't hear it. I mean, you hear the motor winding up, but you don't hear any exhaust coming out the back. And I just like hearing a little bit of a throaty exhaust, even if it is a 6-cylinder. Now when it comes to the air conditioning and heating controls, it does have an his and hers, or his and his, or hers and hers, or however you want to call it, to be politically correct, but it has a right and left control unit to be able to control the temperature of the right or left passenger. It does allow you to go into recirculate mode. I have been driving in recirculate mode for about an hour now, and it has not automatically come out of recirculate mode. Not to say in some strange weather temperature conditions it will automatically go out of recirculate mode, as many of the modern cars are taking over for you, to my displeasure. Another disappointment in the high-end car like this is it doesn't have blind spot monitoring. So in the event that I'm going to turn right or left, it does not appear to have a blind spot light that pops up on the right side or left side to let you know that there's a vehicle next to you. So after about 6 hours of driving in this car, the one thing that I just realized that I really miss compared to some of the other cars that I have is I have not figured out how to get a digital readout for the speed that I'm going. So right now I look at the speedometer and it has the number 60 and then 80, and then it's got several lines between it. So it is a little more difficult to know the exact speed you're going. The only time you know the exact speed you're going is when you're in cruise control and it tells you how fast you're going that way. But in the center of the screen, I really wish that there was a view that would say, you're going 70 miles an hour, 70, rather than me having to look at the analog speedometer. Okay, as you can hear, it's raining outside. The good news is this car has done phenomenal in the rain. So we've spent about 7 hours today driving the round trip in this car from Nashville to Memphis and back. And to be honest, I've been pleasantly surprised. Is this a car that I would consider buying if I was in the market for a two-door coupe sports car, sports coupe? And I'd say absolutely yes. It's a mid-$40,000 car, probably loaded out. You're going to be in the 50s. Would I do the 6-cylinder turbo? I probably would consider the 6-cylinder turbo because it is so peppy. So for the price point, for the vehicle it is, if it was an everyday driver for me, I would absolutely consider getting one of these. The seats are very comfortable. The vehicle itself handles well. It's nimble. There's a couple of pet peeves that I don't care for, like the no digital readout on the speedometer, and I'm pretty sure that I've looked hard and not found it properly. I did figure out how to turn down the bass and adjust the stereo, so that worked out well. But the all-wheel drive, I would definitely do an all-wheel drive because it has just performed so well in the rain today. And again, the Infinity Q60, it's on one of the tops in my consideration list. It's definitely not one that I would run from, and reliability should be pretty decent on it. It's basically a Nissan platform, probably very similar to the Nissan GTR platform, and it's probably why it handles and performs so well. They probably took some of that technology and just popped it into a Q60, and to be honest, they did a damn good job. So 2 thumbs up.